Labyrinthine Terra, the Minotaur's Maze. In the heart of the city, where towering skyscrapers and bustling streets concealed a web of secrets, a series of inexplicable disappearances had gripped the populace with fear. People vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of a dark force lurking in the shadows. Among the concerned citizens was Ethan Gray, an urban explorer known for his fearless curiosity and knack for uncovering hidden places. Ethan had always been drawn to the forgotten corners of the city. Abandoned buildings, hidden tunnels, and derelict factories were his playgrounds. But this time, his exploration would take him far deeper than he had ever ventured before. One evening, while researching old city maps and historical records, Ethan stumbled upon a peculiar reference to an ancient labyrinth buried beneath the streets. According to the records, this labyrinth was built centuries ago, long before the modern city was established, and had been forgotten over time. Intrigued, Ethan decided to investigate, hoping to uncover the truth behind the disappearances. Equipped with his trusty flashlight, a backpack full of supplies, and a determination fueled by both curiosity and concern, Ethan set out to find the entrance to the labyrinth. After hours of scouring the city, he finally discovered a hidden passage in an old, crumbling building on the outskirts of town. The passage led him down a narrow staircase, deep into the earth. The air grew colder and mustier as he descended, the light from above fading until it was swallowed by darkness. At the bottom of the stairs, he found a massive stone door, intricately carved with symbols and figures he couldn't decipher. With a creak and a groan, the door opened, revealing the entrance to the labyrinth. As Ethan stepped inside, he felt a shiver run down his spine. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant sound of dripping water. He knew there was no turning back now. The labyrinth was a maze of winding corridors and narrow passages, lit only by the faint glow of his flashlight. Ethan navigated the twists and turns with caution, marking his path with chalk to avoid getting lost. The deeper he went, the more he felt an unsettling presence, as if he were being watched. Hours passed, and Ethan's anxiety grew. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was stalking him, lurking just out of sight. Suddenly, he heard a low, guttural growl echo through the corridors. His heart pounded in his chest as he quickened his pace, desperate to find a way out. As he rounded a corner, Ethan came face to face with the source of the growl. Standing before him was a massive, hulking figure, half man, half beast. Its eyes glowed with a malevolent intensity, and its horns scraped against the ceiling. The Minotaur, thought to be a mere myth, was real, and it had been awakened. Ethan's mind raced as he tried to recall everything he knew about the Minotaur. The creature was said to be invincible within its labyrinth, feeding on those who dared to enter its domain. But there had to be a way to defeat it. He remembered an old legend that spoke of the Minotaur's weakness, a vulnerability at the heart of the maze. With the Minotaur closing in, Ethan made a split-second decision and darted down a side passage. He ran through the labyrinth, his lungs burning and his legs aching, as the beast's roars echoed behind him. He knew he couldn't outrun it forever. He had to find the heart of the maze and end this once and for all. After what felt like an eternity, Ethan stumbled into a large chamber at the center of the labyrinth. In the middle of the room stood a stone pedestal, upon which lay an ancient sword. He recognized it from the legends. It was the only weapon capable of defeating the Minotaur. With a surge of determination, Ethan grabbed the sword and turned to face the beast. The Minotaur charged at him, its eyes blazing with fury. Ethan waited until the last possible moment before sidestepping and plunging the sword into the creature's side. The Minotaur let out a deafening roar of pain, thrashing wildly before collapsing to the ground. Ethan stood over the fallen beast, his breath ragged and his heart pounding. He had done it. He had defeated the Minotaur and put an end to its reign of terror. But his ordeal was not over yet. He still had to find a way out of the labyrinth. Using the chalk marks he had made earlier, Ethan retraced his steps through the maze. The journey back felt even longer than the descent, but eventually, he found the staircase and ascended to the surface. As he emerged from the darkness, he was greeted by the first light of dawn. The city above was just beginning to wake up, oblivious to the horrors that lay beneath its streets. Ethan knew he had to warn the authorities and make sure the entrance to the labyrinth was sealed for good. But for now, he was content to breathe in the fresh air and feel the warmth of the sun on his face. The disappearances would cease, and the city would be safe once more. And Ethan Gray, the urban explorer, had uncovered the greatest secret of all, a legend brought to life, and a nightmare vanquished. Subscribe for more thrilling stories of horror, supernatural, and the unexplained.